Yeah. So yeah, basically the fascia system is a system of connective tissue that is basically surrounding all of our muscles and all of our tendons and organs and kind of keeps everything together. So it's basically a kind of amazing system that I want to share some imagery with you. Um, Screen. All right, so this is a artist representation of fascia. So it's kind of a gooey liquid that it exists always as a layer in between, uh, always as a layer in between the muscles and especially sliding muscles, muscles that have to go through one another, they really go through. And this comes from an understanding that somehow like we don't have like, you know, 600 muscles that work separately, but we have a sort of system slash entity that binds everything together. And this is visible for a very long time. The medieval representation of a fascial system, which they didn't call fascia. They had a name that was more religious to it, more like the god's tissue. And you can see how even in the hands, if we think about like the system that has like a superficial layer, but then it goes very, very deep. And it's kind of like the heart or like the conscience that then propagates to the muscles. And you see here how it kind of in a very like medical illustrative way, where it is present, it is this white thing, it's kind of a little bit everywhere. So yeah, we're gonna work today with stretching, and it's kind of a also an arrival, like how can we be in a stretching position for a long time? Like how can we handle with the pain, or how can we think of what's going on in a way that is more embodied, and it is more of like your whole body, just your whole body just moving as one. So it's not only you know, your back leg that is stretching, but it's everything. So let's just go for it. And first, I just wanna, I don't, uh, we're all in different time zones, so I guess we're all in different states of the day. But in any state, it's good to just lay down on the floor and feel your weight. Relax, breathe in. You can close your eyes if you feel like. You can support your hands on your hip rest. And first, let's just allow the breath to be light and long, elongating the body, feeling the weight of gravity, feeling your own weight, arriving at the here and now. Your body automatically starts pulling your attention to parts that might feel a little bit more stuck, maybe your neck, maybe your lower back if you're sitting down on a chair. So let's just stay here a little bit. You can close your eyes and open them. Just don't fall asleep. Be as in or as out as you want to be. And see that by the just time passing by, those parts of your body that you didn't even know that you were holding release. So maybe it's, your quadricep muscles because they're so used to walking, so they're contracted. Or maybe it's your lower back. Maybe it's in the back of your neck. Or your What you're doing here is that you are allowing the fascia between the muscles to rest and to go to its state. One more breath. Really expand through your breathing box, your upper body, expanding one more time. Now open your eyes and just send the tip of your fingers and your heels in opposite directions. So expand, 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 and relax. Now, the next time you do it, don't think of muscular areas, but think of the tissue that connects all the muscles expanding. See the difference. Feel the difference. Again, just that new awareness change something in the way that you connect to the muscles. Does it provide embodiment? Stay, reaching through the fingertips, reaching through your heels, growing the space in the middle of the body, and giving our fascia a little push, like if we're a towel and we'll be pushing it, or like a piece of polyester that can easily be pushed from one side. So viscose polyester, I mean, not the other one. So last time, really take that image of the fascias, that humid connector in our body, the invisible system, the glue that binds everything together, and allow the stretch to provide nourishment. Keep reaching, and relax. All right. We're gonna now just go from side to side, going through the spine, and just thinking a little bit about this thing that I bring a lot about in the class, which is the matrix. Vivek, you probably have heard of me talking about the matrix before. And the matrix is basically the liquid that the fascia system carries. And it's this liquid that allows um, for the muscles to glide through. And whenever we're feeling a muscle part that stands, it means that it stands. It means that this, keep rolling side to side, it means that the matrix is stuck. So one of the things that's really fascinating about the fascia system is that it is as sensitive as the skin. So trauma or bad feeling, or a position that's been made with too much strength, or being seated at the same position for a long time, stresses it. So it kind of works like a trauma. And that's what's really interesting, because we're really dealing with an embodiment of trauma or stress, all of these things. And we know from this class and this course that everything is connected. So as you keep on rolling gently from side to side, we are waking up our joints. We're waking up our muscles. We're most fundamentally, we are irrigating through movements our matrix. And this can have any shape you want, but the most gentle for me is rolling from side to side, so really allowing the weight to fall down and moving in your own rhythm. You might find a slow or fast rhythm once you feel more comfortable. And just continue exploring a little bit more until we're gonna come to a very interesting stretch position, which is a very gentle position. We're gonna go to child's pose, and already its name induces a sense of calm and gentleness and kindness. So we're going to find a position. It really depends from person to person. Let me maybe show this from the front. But when we have to find this right opening in our hips that allows for our hips to and our buttocks to sort of gently fall. So at this moment you create this extra space. And although being in this position for a long time, like that could prove itself to be hurtful, once you bend and allow your forehead to come to the floor, and place your hands here if that's comfortable, or if you want an extra gentle push on your shoulders, you can put them in the back. And here, the trick is really to allow for the lower back to fall to your feet at the same time that the forehead is supporting the neck to relax, to be free. And your jaw, your lower jaw is relaxed. And your hips, every out breath, they fall more and more to your feet, providing an openness here on your lower back, on your buttocks. And it's very passive. The only thing that you have to do here is to not struggle and allow your fascia, allow the fascial system to grow, allow the muscles to expand and relax. And allow yourself to let go as well. To dare letting go of control. To adhere to this relaxation, this awareness. You stay 5 breaths here. Don't be afraid to make your breath loud and proud. Dragon breath. Watch as the body relaxes and falls deeper, expanding passively, calmly. Come back, roll, vertebra by vertebra, come up, and gonna go to another position that can be a little bit, can come back, rolling your vertebrae one by one until your head is up. And the head is the last one to arrive. Good. So we're gonna now find another example of deep fascia that might be, and deep muscles, therefore deep tendons that might be really hard. I know that it is hard for me. but that is staff pose. So on staff pose, which is basically this, we want to stand in our sitting bones, and at the same time, we want to flex the heel, thus thus extending the back leg, but at the same time, we want to keep our quadriceps relaxed so that we don't get stuck. And I know that, for example, for men, this position is a little bit more strenuous. So you can, and are very welcome if you need to get a little book or a little block or even a pillow just to give you that extra push because we are being gentle today. So I will definitely do it. I've been training very much. I have performances soon. Maybe you also are flying or you know have more physical requirements. So this is a very good way to do it. And it's also different because we're going to do it a little bit with motion and then we're going to try to stay in a position. So we're going to first give a little matrix fascia activation. So what we're doing here is that we are kind of like we are pedaling, and every time that we pedal, we push extra the heel, we flex the heel extra, and this will create a feeling of proximity with time. So keep breathing and keep pedaling, keep going through, take your time. And now, after that, we're just going to kind of hit our legs on the floor. We can even put our hands, on the sides so that we keep on growing and we're not flinching on the lower back. We're just giving it a little warm up, pulling the blood there, activating. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go right foot under right palm, and you can keep the knee bent, and we're going to keep the other leg, the left leg stretched, heels flexing. You're going to start feeling this pain or kind of cut feeling coming. Accept it and relax your head. You're going to see that right now, just relaxing your head activates all on the side this feeling of stretch. And I want you to just stay there and keep breathing. Not easy. And every time you grow space, you stretch further, you keep that foot. And now we're going to switch sides and do the same with the right side. Left palm under left foot palm. And we're going to relax our head. Reach through the back of the leg, backwards and front, the same way where we did at the beginning. And relax your head, allow your neck to open this fascia all on the side. Keep sending air. Keep letting go. Grow, grow, and let your back leg grow and stretch and activate. If it feels comfortable, if you can reach, you can put now the right hand behind on the right foot. Really deep stretch. And let's go back. And now let's go for the last one with 2 legs, the most challenging one. But what we're going to do here first is that we're gonna reach the leg in front. It's a very small movement. And it relates to this muscle here, which is also very much full of fascia going through it. Because fascia exists everywhere, in the tendons, in the joints. So this small muscles and joints that allow for the leg to reach through the heel and become a little bit longer. These are the same muscles that kind of are here in the bend, the iliopsoas muscle. So try to see if this awareness allows for reaching not only from your heels, but also from this crevice through the fascia, through the fact that this is all connected. All of these muscles are connected. 600 muscles we have are all one big system that moves together. And with that, we breathe out and we relax. Into the pose. Ooh, strong back legs, strong front, lower back is relaxed. We're gaining space and we're gaining years of life. Relax your head for the maximum activation. And now we're gonna alternate it with a little, it feels nice, doesn't it? Really kind of a very energizing feel. Especially when you have resistance or you have muscle pain, that day or stress, like that moment that you manage to reach through and push through and really relax the head and stay in the pose with your breath, it's really years and years of life you're gonna get. So now let's go to another sort of passive pose, and this one is also for the lower back, and it's just squat pose. So there's two ways to do this. It really just depends on your anatomy and your hip openness. So you can either be here in the back with your heels on the floor, or you can be here. Let me put it on the side so you see better. I'm here and I am with my heels on top and I am trying to go down, but I'm taking my time and I really go for whatever feels better for me, and because none of this should be painful at all. So let's go to whatever position you are feeling comfortable. And I just want here for you again you've probably seen the connection between your lower back and your head. And so we're just gonna enjoy this here a little bit more. We're gonna send the lower back to the floor. And at the same time, the feet are strong. They're taking the weight and your head is relaxed. You're bowing. And stay in this bow. Bow to yourself, to the world, to the practice, to the here and now. Find time to adjust yourself, to see if you're really letting go of the weights. And by letting go and not holding this position, your muscles, your fascia will relax. Last breath in. And release. 2 more positions to go before our dance. We're gonna really stick to the basics here today because it's always good as a dancer, practitioner, as anything that you do, it's always really good to go back to the basics. And sometimes classes can get really intense and like very acrobatic. And I always feel like whenever I really need a little let go, it's always this poses that I go to. So we're gonna go to kind of dynamic uh downward facing dog. So let's just start with the dynamic here. Transferring the weight from our hands to our knees. Feet are the plants of our toes are touching, and we're here also. Oh, see my. I don't know if you heard that, but my foot just cracked, and it's because I'm allowing a little stretch to happen to my toes here because they're tucked. So allow for that little plantar fasciitis stretch, which is really good. And at a certain moment that we're in the back, we're gonna lift the weight and stand our hips upwards, and we're gonna pedal and pedal and pedal. All right. Every time that you pedal, take your time to do it. We are standing our sit bones up towards the sky. At the same time, our palms are sharing the weight with our feet, one by one. Shoulders growing, palms strong, head relaxed. We're really waking up all of our fascial system with this one. Against gravity, through motion, with breath. See if you can go deeper and deeper now. And walk towards our front foot. And here, I think that by now we understand that stretching, at least the way I understand it, is not a rigid process. It is its rigidity comes on its necessity for attention. You need to stay with the body, but we don't have to be like this. It doesn't have to hurt. We can slowly ease ourselves in there. So please, here, find a space that between your feet that makes sense. If you are feeling warm, you can put the feet together like this. And if not, hip distance is totally fine. Keep your knees never really tight, but always in a little bit of a comfortable bend. But keep your sit bones pointing upwards. Tuck your belly in. Relax your head. And now let's say, this is so yummy. I really like this. I always been one of my favorites. Just say no and yes with your head. And no, really let it go. Growing, relaxing, yes. One more time. No, and yes. See how the top of the spine and the end of the spine, the lower spine are connected on this. Keep sending your sit bones up. Keep the knees available. Allow your upper body to have an extra stretch here by holding your elbows, relaxing, allowing your lower allowing your shoulders to slide through its gooey matrix. And now relax, bend your knees slightly, and slowly come up. Vertebra is the last one to right. The head is the last one to right. Vertebra by vertebra. And we're standing. Ooh. Center yourself, move a little bit we've been on these positions for a long time, and put some mobility in it. And we are going to experience a small dance right now. And I just wanted to see how you can relate on this idea of fascia, of moving fascia, and we can explore it a little bit. I think the main difference because I think the proposal is to, kind of concretely is to move with our muscles. But what does it mean to move muscularly with this notion that every single muscle is connected by one big layer of fascia, connective tissue, that literally connects our ear with our toe, and our hips with our heart, and our liver with our shoulders. So we're gonna play this really nice song, and then we're gonna just explore that. And it's really, I think we can, if we we can maybe do a little bit of a difference of like this, I'm moving through my bones. It's staccato, right? Example, ta, 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 position. I think with Laban, we are doing a lot of this. So from the muscles, we have this memory of this deep stretch right now. What it means to tense and relax. So maybe let's explore a little bit that. Take this and ease into it. Can you hear it? Yes. All right. Reaching, finding connection in all movements. keep the quality. Don't stop yet. Let's not, we probably all found quality that feels comfortable to dance with, to feel the embodiment. So I'm going to propose a little connection exercise in which the proposal is that we keep on this movement, but each one of us has 3 minutes in which they dance and they talk. Doesn't matter what they talk about. It doesn't matter where it is. The only requisite is that you keep moving in this quality that you found, and you talk and say whatever you want, and with the other two listen. So I can start. I am quite nervous because I have a performance in 1 week and a half, whilst at the still time doing a million other things, preparing for being married, preparing for this performance, preparing the body mind guild, being present in my family, and I sometimes really miss the time that I was just working and working, and I could just obsess with my work all the time, but that's in the past and there's responsibilities. But sometimes when you have a lot of responsibilities, there's a little part of you that always just wants to say, fuck that. But that's not really very easy and calm route to go. So I do the things that I can to keep me balanced, and I am very excited every time that I am with you here on the camera. I'm always hoping that this information passes through, and there's still a place in which I know that there's a voice and there's work to do, and it's sometimes so weird. And sometimes you feel that you're really here in the community, and then other times it doesn't really feel like we're so further away. But sometimes you feel like it's so close that I can literally smell the sweat of all of you. But maybe that's just because nowadays technology and the way that we view each other in this little screen, it's so potent, opening channels of communication, of body communication and experience. And Vivek, you can go.
I'm thinking about how fascia sits between muscle and bone, and how to move in such a way that remembers both the structure and the fluidity. The spine is close to my mind a lot, and it's where I try to get my lessons. I try to use it to feel. And long and strong is what comes to mind. And the sticky parts, or the areas where emotion is harder to find. Think about my ribs and the way to keep them moving healthily, supporting the structure of the spine, and as a place where, I don't really know, but it feels like a lot of fascia sits. And I also learn from the ways that the other people on the screen move, which is great. I think that's maybe 3 minutes. I'll pass it to Dunya.
You have 1 more minute. One more, Vivek. You have one more.
Okay, one more.
Well, you can push it. Just keep on dancing. It doesn't really matter what you say. It's just the whole only rule is to not stop making sounds when it's your turn.
All right, so then the feet are on wood floors. The ankles are finding their edges of flexibility. And I'm trying to turn my hips in such a way that my lower back feels stronger, feels less tender and more strong. And
all right, Dunya, it's your turn now. Let's keep on. Keep dancing, keep on the system, and go on.
So I am aware of the air entering my lungs and the wind touching my skin, and I can feel like the whistle of the wind and the leaves is moving my arms. And sometimes the reason why I come back to the breath is that I feel constricted. As if, I remember, breathe. There is a stiffness in my shoulder, left. It feels like a linchpin. And I allow that to move the rest of the body, open the chest to the sun. I feel ancient. And now the attention is on my lower back. That also is stuck. There is sensation of waking up. And this desire to shake off. Exhale Back to inhale. I move to the sound of the birds, the barks of the dogs. There's like this song.
Okay, good. Now let's do just one.
Talk very slow.
Let's do a last challenge before we stop. Is that now for 2 minutes we all talk and we talk at the same time, and we continue speaking as of now, and it doesn't really matter what we say, but we just keep on moving, keep pushing through that physicality. And it doesn't have to be words, it can be sounds. So 3, 2, 1, choir. It is today that I'm also going to DJ later on tonight. And that's going to be really interesting because it's going to be late and it's a Tuesday, so who knows if anyone will come. And we all keep talking and talking. And we're moving, and it's kind of complicated to do, but it doesn't really matter because it is a challenge. They're in. Yeah. It's sometimes really funny to think of like how people that have no context that then they come into dance room and they see other people doing things, but they have really no idea how it feels inside. It's really, it feels kind of like a car crash. And then I'll be there on the floor and make the sound. There's name for something. It's all you stay here just and now sure being around in the space. Never letting go. I see looking at the floor. You that's the dream. Oh, I wonder how it looks so beautiful where Dunya is.
Continue.
Michelle's there. Sunny. Wow. Yeah. Check. Wow. Times I feel like I'm living in a house. And boom. All right. And slowly come back. Take a breath. Let the residual, if it still feels good to move, let it slowly come out. Breathe. And let's go. Take a little break. Go to the toilet. And oh, you have to go already, Vivek.
Yes, unfortunately.
Okay. All right. No worries. It was great having you today. And we're just gonna take a little break and then maybe me and Dunya, we can stay a little bit
Yes.
and
Thank
catch
you.
up.
And thank you, Antonia.
Thank you.
It's really great. I started
Yeah.
speaking languages. Didn't expect that.
I started speaking like a bird, like beep, 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 beep. All right. Dunya, see you here in like 3 minutes. I just go
Yeah, I'm gonna
quickly
get
to the
some
toilet.
water. Good
Yeah.
idea.
All right. See you. Hey,
Hi.
so nice where you are. I was even saying that when I was there. Oh, imagine where she is. It looks so nice. I wish I was there.
I was just telling my boyfriend, I'm like, we live in like I guess it's a vacation part of Canada. It's like they call it the Atlantic playground because it's just beach, and
Wow.
most of the time it's very windy and foggy. But when it's nice, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, it looks gorgeous there.
Mm-hmm.
Cute. Yeah, no, I'm in Porto and it was really warm, but now it's just been rainy and humid, so I'm me and like we do it in the office as well. Because yeah, it's really cute.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm still recording. Am I?
Mm.
Yeah,
Yes, you
I
are.
am. Okay. Bye.